Do you remember when the left-wing trifecta attacked Weber Academy? It was a few weeks ago, so here's a quick recap. The Minister of Education, David Eggen, put out a vague statement forbidding the use of a learning resource that asked students to consider possible positive legacies of residential schools, not just the negative ones. Neil Weber, the head and founder of Weber Academy, sent an email to the minister inquiring what the resource was exactly, because it wasn't made clear. He also asked if the topic was completely off limits, saying that, quote, surely when discussions are taking place with regards to residential schools, that any positive aspects can be asked along with any negative ones. The response was swift. The Minister of Education, a socialist blogging site, and the mainstream media, they all led the public to believe that Neil Weber, the head and founder of one of the top-rated schools in the province, was a romanticizer of residential schools. First, Eggen's office got everyone's attention saying a school authority reached out about the issue. Then Progress Alberta went public with Dr. Weber's name and then twisted what he inquired about. How would they get his name? Surely the minister would not be leaking private correspondence to his buddies on the left. Suddenly, Dr. Weber was a racist, someone who thinks that residential schools were the best thing since sliced bread. Except that's not quite true, is it? I took the time to go to the school to ask the questions that had to be asked. Nobody else was doing it. Here's what he said.
After seeing what the resource was, I agree with them that they should not use it. But I am concerned that he was indicating that we should not even ask the question, were there any positive benefits? Maybe there aren't any. But in a classroom discussion, and developing critical thinking skills of students, you should be asking questions. What were the negatives and what were the positives?
All the educator wanted was to teach his students both sides of history, to look at it holistically instead of through an ideological lens. The attack was so insulting to Dr. Weber, he told The Rebel that his lawyers were sending letters to the Ministry of Education that very day. The problem is, Weber Academy doesn't fit neatly into the NDP's pick a public school we tell you to plan, because it doesn't fit in with the NDP's socialist agenda to end school choice. Remember, just a week ago, their party positioned themselves against a school funding model where the money follows the student. Instead, children who are educated outside of government schools are left out in the cold. We wanted to see if the Minister of Education or any of his staff leaked correspondence between them and Weber Academy to the media or to Press Progress and their buddies. Rather than being forthcoming with the information like one would be if they had nothing to hide, they slapped The Rebel with a $1,500 price tag to have the privilege of reading a few emails. That screams anything but innocent to me. David Eggen is hiding behind a paywall. Look at this, the fee schedule for the Freedom of Information requests. Keep in mind, it costs just 25 cents a page, and we only asked to see a few emails. That means that they are going to bury us in nearly 6,000 pages of information. This is a cash for info scheme designed to keep the public out of the government business because they think Albertans can't be bothered. I bet they're wrong. Seriously, what is so damning in these emails that we asked to see that they'll go to these lengths to hide it? This is big, folks. If we can prove that the Minister of Education or his staff knowingly sent information to socialist bloggers to defame Alberta's best performing school with a political motivation, no less, Rachel Notley will have no choice but to fire David Eggen. Our research budget comes from our viewers. If you think that this is worthwhile, if you would like to help air David Eggen's dirty laundry, please chip in at www.fireeggen.ca to help cover the cost of this roadblock fee. We will do the rest. There is a link in the description of the video below to help you do that. Alberta students just can't wait anymore. Let's fire Eggen. For the Rebel Media, this is Cian Bexty. We're pulling out all the stops. The students of Alberta cannot afford to wait until the next election to replace this minister. If you can pitch in to cover the cost of this outrageous bill, we will be able to expose Rachel Notley's Minister of Education once and for all. You can do that at www.fireeggen.ca. If you could also share this video with every mother and father you know, I bet they will want to know what the minister is hiding too.